now picking the Natan, which is a very interesting move. Natan is a hero we haven't seen in a long time in the gold lane, especially up against a Wanwan that can really bully you, up against a Lolita that can soak in everything you've got, even with that entropy. Well, it becomes a pick that is risky.
It's a bit of a mixed bag with Natan. A lot of mixed damage, right, with how he operates. And oh, he goes for the shadow picks. We keep saying that this is not okay.
Haha.
It's moving around though. But let's go, Argentina. Make up your mind. We have to like comment on this.
No, keep on juking. Keep on juking Arashi, just like Messi.
Let's just wait.
But here we go. I'm honestly just wishing for a Bruno here, but he does go for the Clint. If it's not the Irithel, another hero that does extremely well in lane up against the Wanwan, it's that Clint, right? With the superior range and obviously the CC as well. Technically, the root that he has in his arsenal, it's just so good to go up against the Wanwan early on. But as we all know, Clint is very easy to pick off, and Indonesia are trying to punish that, hovering over that Selena to put some more kill pressure down. Remember, in 1v1, Clint wins, but it's never 1v1 in the gold lane anymore.
Exactly. And now with a Lolita, it's a very oppressive hero in the early game because you're actually tanky, but you have a deceptive amount of damage. It doesn't seem like it's going to be a lot, but it is a lot. And yikes, it's going to be the Yuzu and the Lilia. So is this a jungle Benedetta?
It is a jungle, unless they pull off a jungle Yuzu. We saw it once before, not by Taz.
Phoveus is the attempt to counter from Argentina, but as we've mentioned before, I think, Phoveus isn't a hard counter for a 1-1. It can be a problem, especially if Phoveus is doing well, but otherwise, a 1-1 can absolutely outplay around that demonic force.
Both heroes that Argentina are trying to counter with the Phoveus, 1-1 and Benedetta, have counterplay to the Phoveus, right? The Benedetta can just time the enter the land of Dawn. We might see an interesting battle spell come out from Phoveus. I was expecting a Vengeance. Because usually, you need to go for that Vengeance if you are up against a 1-1 on the Phoveus in a losing lane like this. But it is not the Benedetta that he's up against, right? It is the Yuzu.
Exactly. Well, Yuzu is also a very oppressive hero in the laning phase. So we'll have to see that. Can Papadoc actually get an advantage? And if he does have an advantage, right, it's still up to the rest of the team to enable, to try and catch out the players before the Phoveus in the hands of Papadoc can actually make those crazy plays. So far, though, it is a slow laning phase, and it will all depend on, I think, the jungler. So far, we've seen that both these teams like taking it easy all the way till minute number 4, but in this game, it's a bit more scrapping going on.
Let's see, right now, Indonesia early on, already Wanwan actually winning out in the lane up against Clint right now, and Brad is actually able to get out. Wait! In the XP lane, it's a solo, it's a gank.
It's a gank
there, 2v1, Erwin taken very low, that's the Inspire popped in, Brands looking for that kill onto Erwin, will not be able to find it, but it's a lot of damage, and that pressure has been alleviated off the other members. Dreams gets caught. That's going to be the shadow kill to pick up another 1-for-1. This time, Argentina, with their comfort picks, are doing better.
Argentina strikes back in the early game. Again, you can't take this team lightly. They are a serious contender in the tournament right now. Indonesia, they need to be a bit more careful because if they let Yutun start snowballing, that can't be good for them as well. These squishier laners are going to be quite vulnerable, but I guess Brands will be the one that will be feeling the bulk of that aggression.
Indonesia, though, already first onto the neutral objective now. Picks it up. No contest from Argentina, as Jotun doesn't have that purple buff. Without the purple buff, Hayabusa is going to find it very difficult to contest or even to gank. So for Argentina, it does feel like their win condition is solely on getting the picks early on. They can't really go for the neutral objective control. Dreams there with a cheeky invade, looking for that steal, but Taz on this Demon Slayer Benedetta. I wonder if he's going to go damage or tank.
I think damage must be the way to go. He has that Demon Slayer emblem, so it's a interesting hero. Able to be built quite a few different ways, hybrid, tank, full damage. But right now, we keep talking about the lane management in game number 1. In game number 2 here, I think it's no different. Indonesia has so many wave clear tools to actually work around with. Psychots, Taz, as well as Hijime can all do that, but look at that aggression coming in, and they're not done yet.
Jotun able to maneuver himself out of that position, but now he's going to get caught in the stun. Doesn't have the Shadow Kill to play with here to guide him as well, but a Numenal Blast forces Erwin to pop that Circling Eagle, leaving Jotun behind for Indonesia to take. Erwin trying to dish out damage back, but again, it's Indonesia that it really feels like Indonesia has Argentina's number in the rotation game.
You can see how they can just have such a good read on Argentina, because Dreams, he charged the Numenal Blast preemptively towards the top side, so they are a few steps ahead in these very messy skirmish engagements. And I think Taz is waiting. He's trying to try and steal that purple buff. Does he have backup though? That's the main question.
He's all alone here. He's still looking for that retribution battle, but decides to back off, using Eye for an Eye to get out of the Circling Eagle. Meanwhile, in the XP lane, Hijime and Psychots finds a kill. That's the second kill over to Papa Dog, who's not having a blast on this Phobius in that XP lane, Arashi. We mentioned it, up against the Yuzong. It's going to be really difficult to lane, especially with the ganks that's constantly just being placed by Indonesia.
Not only are they having the Phobius fall behind, they're having Psychots on the Yuzong, just absolutely wrecking it in that EXP lane. That can't be good as the Indonesians are pushing the aggression, and look at that.
Real world manipulation popped in. Jotun looking for an opening as Hijime jumps back to the black shoes, but it's going to be caught by Jotun, who was very patiently waiting. They're going to blast onto Civ and on towards Erwin as Dasta crossbow attack opened up. Erwin taken low, still able to survive, but with Civ down, this means that not only is Indonesia winning in the XP lane, this Wanwan on the hands of Brands as well is ahead, which is not a good sign.
Absolute disaster as far as the laning phase is concerned. And look at the babysit coming in, but on the other side of the map, that is Psychots just making a very aggressive play. It almost pays out in a kill. Unfortunately, not just yet. They're just pushing the tempo again and again. And Argentina, which lane are they supposed to make plays in? Because at every moment, they're getting out-rotated, and Indonesia is just in the bush, just waiting for them to walk in unsuspectingly.
It's absolutely insane right now. 5-2. Mataz jumped in all alone there. Looking for the purple buff, finds it and gets out. No punishment. It's actually going to be Indonesia who looked for the collapse under the tier 2. Real world inflation popped in, but Psychos jumped to the Furious Dive. Now, in the midst of it all, Erwin to be taken low, but Dreams is still alive with the help of Taz, who jumps in with the final blow. Looking for another kill right now as he jumps out, and he buys enough time for Brands to pick up that top side tier 1. They didn't lose a single member in that dive.
If you thought Argentina completely out-macroed Slovenia yesterday, this is a bit of a repeat because Indonesia is absolutely leagues ahead from Argentina. Unfortunately, Dreams was not taken out, and due to him being so low, it baits the rest of the members of Argentina, and Indonesia were able to punish that. And while all that is happening, the fight began without Brands, and doing that, Brands just didn't stay still. Goes for objectives, goes for more farm. And we talked about the 1-1 having a good lane. Brands is having an amazing lane, and in the late game, that cannot be good for the side of Argentina.
6th minute, 4-man dive, 4v5, Arashi. That's what made it super impressive. It wasn't a 5v5, it was a 4v5, and they still got out with the better trade. They still were able to take that purple buff unpunished. They were the ones actually punishing Argentina for stepping into their own jungle.
They are treading the line so carefully. I mean, at any moment, any small misplay can lead to disaster in these very risky plays, but Indonesia is making it happen. That just shows, again, their skill and their class, and right now they are in the sides, in the wings, waiting for an opportunity. Psychots always being so crafty in the positioning game, but look at that.
Jotun has the quad shadow, gets out, but it's going to be chunked by Hijime, who follows him under the turret with the black shoes, gets out. Real world inflation popped in, but that's going to be Tatu, who targets him down with the final blow, forcing the flicker out. Dreams taken down in the back lines by Papa Dog as he jumps in with the demonic force. Hijime falls as well. Indonesia, too over aggressive, finally punished here by Argentina, but Brands is looking for the crossbow attack. Pops in the end against Papa Dog, who gets the safety with the guiding wind. Taz still looking for his Psychots with the Black Dragon form now, still going for this fight. It's a 3v5, but Indonesia still are able to push Argentina back, but it does not change the fact that Argentina were able to find another 2 kills.
They get another 2 kills, but we talk about the wave pressure again and again. You guys at home are probably so bored of hearing about it, but the bottom side, the minions have taken 1 more turret for Indonesia. We take a look at the items here. 4 brands. Corrosion Scythe having the Demon Hunter Sword as well. These thicker, tankier members on the side of Argentina are going to be suffering from that percentage HP damage from the Demon Hunter Sword, and it's only going to get worse from here on. That is 2 core items for 1-1.
That's really not what Argentina want.
It's the reverse.
1-1 with the Demon Hunter Sword, with the Corrosion Scythe so early on, and now I do believe he is building towards the Windtalker, which is going to be, again, that countermeasure for brands to go up against the Phobius. When you start to have more attack speed, and when you start to be able to actually dash faster than the Demonic Force, that's when Wanwan can actually somewhat counter the Phobius. Taz is all alone, and he actually baits the entire team, baits some resources as well for Psychots.
Oh.
Goes in for the Black Dragon form, petrifying Jotun. And just like that, that's the jungler taken out. That's also Meteoro who falls in the mid lane to Brands. Papa Dog isolated, zoned away from the rest of his team as he'll be stunned up and he will be slain up in the top side.
Look at Brands.
3-4-0. Brands pushing in the mid lane without a care.
He is alone. He is staring 2 members of Argentina in the face. It doesn't matter. He is so ahead right now. He has that confidence, the mechanical skill. And look at that. He's behind the turret. That is, you're not supposed to do that as a marksman, but Brands doesn't care, I guess, as Indonesia wrestles away the control in the jungle from Argentina. But look at that right now. They're just sieging the base as much as possible, and the base turret passive has popped.
I can speak based on experience that on the 1-1, if you're snowballed, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
So we'll see once again. Psychots wants to do whatever he wants as well with the Black Dragon form, just penetrating into that base, zoning 4 members away from the base turret. As Brands and Hijume just sieges it down. Taz now a little blade as the Numenal Blast cancelled out, but he flickers forward, getting the damage and the stun onto Meteoro, who's forced to flicker back out again. Taz now under the turret range, forced to back away. Shadow Kill popped in, won't be able to find enough damage to take anyone down. That's another resource, the real world manipulation by Meteoro to defend. 10 minutes in, Indonesia have cracked 1 base turret and are looking for the second in the mid lane. Arashi, it's looking grim. It's going to be Hijume who jumps back with Black Shoes. Demonic Force popped in by Papa Dog. And they do not want to stop.
They just have the superior siege right now. They're going for damage on the members of Argentina and also the base turrets, but they're going again.
Papa Dog looking for the play, but it is just going to give Brands enough weakness points to pop that crossbow of Tang. Erwin low, forced to recall, and Indonesia are looking for the end. 2-0. Psychots jumps in again with that signature Petrify on 3. Finds a double before they end the game. 2-0. Indonesia will meet up against Cambodia in the upper bracket finals.
What a performance, man. And multiple members from Indonesia, they have their signature heroes, and I think teams need to start taking notice. It is just so dangerous. We saw
MVP 5-0 and 4, 748 GPM, 33,000 damage dealt. And if you take a look at the numbers, it's not too impressive, right?
Yeah.
You need to take a look at what he does in the game. He's not a paper man. He's not a person that you can read.
But just tanking so much damage and getting out. He has almost no deaths on that beat Benedetta, and that just allows the rest of the team